Alright. Hey yo, thank you for joining me for a Galaxy Heroes video today. This one's going to be a little different from most of my other stuff because there's no gameplay, it's not talking about anything that's actually happening in game. It's all about the possibility of a Revan Reborn at some point. I was super excited for the GL news, and then when it came out to be Ahsoka, I was at first very disappointed. I know that most people, we were asked who we wanted for Galactic Legends, and I think most people put Revan Reborn. And I think, looking back on it, that not having them out now, giving us another year before the potential for a Revan Reborn, I think is actually a good sign. I think that the requirements for a Revan Reborn would be too much to be released in the next couple months. So, what I want to talk about is Revan Reborn, what I expect to see in his kit. I'm going to talk about the potential requirements based off of lore and also based off of what they should do to generate money, right? Revan Reborn would be a huge cash grab for them. Everybody is interested in being Revan. And I think it's because everybody got to be Revan. Everybody who has that nostalgia of playing the game and everything. And so, obviously, spoilers ahead. We're going to talk about Revan Reborn in the book Revan by Drew K. I don't want to butcher the last name. It's Carpetian, I think. That's where we get Revan Reborn from, and that's, I think, the GL version of Revan. And so what I would expect in his kit would be his leadership ability would have to be kind of a catch-all, right? Dark side, light side, scoundrels, Jedi, Sith, droids, whatever it is, should work underneath a Revan lead, right? I think his ultimate would be him donning the mask and actually becoming Revan Reborn and reflecting damage back at attackers and things like that. I think that would be very cool. His tags, Jedi and light side. I don't think that there's any real debate here. Anybody who says he's neutral or that he's not a real Jedi haven't read the book. He states in the book multiple times he chooses the light. He chooses to identify as a Jedi. He's not unaligned. He is a light side Jedi, right? One of the few that I would really want on my roster. I mean, without question, right? So then we segue into potential requirements. And we have a few that I'm looking at in-game. Now, the reason I think having a GL Ahsoka come out is that means we've got another year and a half, maybe, until we're talking a Revan Reborn. And I think that gives enough people time to get Leviathan. I think Leviathan should be a requirement. A 7-star Leviathan, it just makes sense to me, right? Then you've got 2 Conquest characters. You've got the Relic 9 Darth Revan already required, and all the requirements that come with that. I think that is a fantastic way to automatically make it one of the big endgame pieces that people want to collect. And if you want to get it early, you'd have to spend a good amount of money, right? And in game, we have 2 of, without a doubt, 4 requirements for Revan Reborn. We have Canderous Ordo and T3M4, and that's why I put them in the R8 plus here category. I think you can make an argument for everybody from all of the Old Republic characters that we have currently in game as requirements. But Canderous Ordo and T3M4 actually go on the mission with Revan into deep space to head off a big threat that he feels through the Force that threatens the Republic and his child. In the book, Basila is with child, and we do get to meet them towards the end of the game. So the book starts basically right after KOTOR 1, right? In between KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2, and then it continues. It ends after the events of KOTOR 2 and like 4,000 years or something like that before Old Republic, where we see Revan again, and I'll talk about that as well. And so Candace and T3M4 actually go with him on this mission. We meet Candace's wife on this mission, and they end up having to kill her and all that. And the whole point of them going to this planet was to collect the Mask of Mandalore. If you've played the second one and you hear that voice of Mandalore, that's Candace, right? It's so he Revan finally starts to remember where he hid the Mask of Mandalore, and the Mandalorians believe that whoever donned the mask should lead. And so they collect it, give it to Candace, and we do see that in the second game. T3M4 is with him all the way through, all the way to the end of the book, where T3M4 is destroyed by Darth Vitian. So I think those two, without question, are two of the four that we have to have in order to get Revan Reborn. There's two other characters that we do not have in-game that are absolutely required for Revan Reborn to exist. One is Scourge. Scourge, he is a Sith warrior, and by the end of the book, he becomes the Emperor's Wrath. He's basically granted eternal life at the cost of being in pain constantly. And then the other one is Mitra Surik, the canonical version of the second game's character, the Jedi Exile. And so she goes off into deep space to basically retrieve Revan. And in the process, she goes to Bastila. And Bastila and her, there's some jealousy between them. But Bastila says, look, here's his mask, right? When I captured him, I kept his mask. He doesn't know that. I need you to give this back to him. If it gives him anything, any edge in getting him back to me, take it, right? So she takes it, and the scene where he dons the mask is fantastic. He was captured, held in a cell. Him and Scourge started having conversations, and Darth Nihilus was the Sith Master at this point. She was one of the Vitiat's right hand in the Dark Council. Dark Council was a group of 12 very high-ranking Sith who were extremely powerful. So he is captured, and then they stage an escape, the three of them, and she brings him his mask, gives it to him, and he comes out now with all of the memories of being Darth Revan, as well as all the memories he developed after his memory was wiped by the Jedi and he became a Jedi again. So here he was, a master of both sides of the Force, and just obliterates Nihilus, and they make their escape. He leads the three of them into battle, the four of them, himself, Scourge, Mitra, and T3M4 into battle against Darth Vitiat. Scourge realizes that he's on the losing side. He doesn't want to get killed there, so he kills Mitra and betrays Revan, and that's when he becomes the Wrath. He earns the title. He basically says, hey, Darth Vitiat, I apologize that I led them into your domicile here, but I needed your help. Revan Reborn was too powerful for me. And so I think those are the four characters we need, absolutely, without question, lore-wise, to get a Revan Reborn. And I think this is a great way for them to make money as well, because I think you have Scourge be another conquest unit, right? Yet another one, right? You've already required 3 if you have him require Leviathan. And you have Scourge be this amazing Sith warrior. Maybe you even give him some territory war armies that let him work really well with Sith or Sith Empire, and maybe you boost a Darth Revan team by having him come into the game. So I think having him be Conquest is a really great idea, and I think Mitra Surik should be one of those epic confrontations. And with that, you bring in 4, maybe even 5 of those characters that she worked with. We have Visas, we have Treya, but I think, Atton Rand, Bowder, Handmaiden, there's a couple droids there, Goto, I'm drawing a blank, I apologize, the Wookiee, the Bounty Hunter, They're added later. So you can easily get 4 or 5 marquee units out of that lead to an epic confrontation to get her, and that's how you make the money right there. Is you have all those marquee units, you have a conquest unit, end game type stuff. So I think if you wanted to look at what we have in game, and I'm probably going to do this myself just because I have really nothing I'm interested in it going on at all at this point. This is what I plan on doing: is taking everybody to R8 in that R8 line, taking everybody to R7 in that R7 line. Maybe I'll give Karth the Omicron just so I can use them somewhere. And then, of course, R9 Jedi Knight Revan. I think that's an easy no-brainer. And so that's pretty much everything I had to say about a Revan Reborn. I would fight to the death over the tags. I think that there's no real room for the idea that he's a neutral character or that he's not a Jedi. He fights to be on the Jedi Council, not Jedi Council, but he fights to have his Jedi rank returned, and they don't like it. The Council at the time do not like him being a Jedi because him and Bastila are together, but they can't really say no because he saved them all. Anyways, so yeah, let me know what you think. If you think that I'm way off base, go ahead and we'll fight to the death. We'll argue about it. Or if you like the idea of a Revan Reborn, let me know. And if you like this type of stuff, the ideas like just pouring out of me from lore stuff, man, I'm always reading, always watching, always playing other games and stuff. So, yeah, let me know. And either way, may the Force be with you.